Hello, everyone. Welcome to Elliott Field here in Brookline. We have a special ASPN HD production for you this evening. It is the 26th annual Nathan Pops Showstack Brookline Baseball All-Star Game. Alongside Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, I'm John Leahy. We're delighted to have you with us. Jesse, we get a look at Brookline's best today. The American National League squad's doing battle in an important All-Star game.
Absolutely. Importance is the key here, John. These players don't care about, whether this is an exhibition or this, means anything. They don't care about getting injured and losing a multi-million-dollar contract. They want to win and prove they're the best. We're going to get the best baseball these kids can bring here today.
It'll be 6 innings. It should be a great one. We invite you to stay with us. The first pitch is next, right here on ESPN HD.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband.
We have to redefine what being a strong man is.
And heal, love your mind.
Welcome back to Elliott Field here in Brookline, and let's head down to the field to Jesse for the introductions of our All-Stars.
Thanks, John. Let's meet the starters for the 26th annual Pops Showstack All-Star Game, starting with the National League.
I'm Anderson Crompton, and I go to FRR school, and I play for the Giants.
Hi, my name is Charles Cummings. I'm 12, and I play for the Diamondbacks.
Hello, my name is Kieran Regan. I play for the Diamondbacks, and I go to Heath School.
Hi, my name is Mason Vo. I'm 12 years old, and I play for the Dodgers.
Hey, my name is Jerry Don. I play for the Diamondbacks.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Jaffe, and I play for the Giants.
My name is Myers Sternimer, and I play for the Dodgers.
Hi, my name is Trip Strom, and I play for the Dodgers.
My name is Nathaniel McCosco, and I play for the Dodgers.
My name is Elliot Che, and I play for the Giants.
My name is Oshin Dean, and I play for the Giants.
My name is Benjamin Lee. I go to FO school, and I play for the Diamondbacks.
All right, those are our National League All-Star starters. Now let's get introduced to the American League All-Stars.
My name is Calvin Thorne. I'm 12 years old, and I play for the Red Sox.
My name is Cameron Galula. I am 11 years old. I play for the Royals, and people at home call me Small Al because I eat ground balls.
My name is Connor Chin. I'm 12 years old, and I play for the Royals.
My name is Jack Lawrence. I'm 12 years old, and I play for the Orioles.
I'm Peter. I'm 10 years old, and I play for the Red Sox.
My name is Evan Johnson. I'm 12 years old, and I play for the Orioles.
My name is Max Toe, and I play for the Royals.
My name is Jane Lau, and I play for the Orioles.
My name is Peter Van Dyke, and I play for the Red Sox.
My name is Ari. I'm playing in Royals.
My name's Alan Lindy, and I play for the Red Sox.
My name's Dawson Ziegler, and I play for the Orioles.
My name is Navi Sarabi, and I play for the Orioles.
And we'll be back in a moment with the start of this All-Star Game. Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now, I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
And we welcome you to Elliott Field here in Brookline. Coverage of the 26th annual Nathan Pops Showstack All-Star Game alongside Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. I'm John Leahy. Great night for baseball. Weather-wise, Jesse, we're set to play.
Absolutely, and certainly glad it's only 6 innings because we might be running out of sunlight. Otherwise, that sunset starting to dip behind us here might actually be a bit of a challenge for the fielders potentially if that sun gets in their eyes.
Absolutely, and getting the start for the American League, it's right-hander Calvin Thorne, and he will start this game on the mound. The American League is the home team. They're out in the field first. And the National League will send up Mason Vo, and he represents the Dodgers, and we're set for all-star action here in Brookline.
Should be a fun one here today, John. Mason Vo, our first guy up. He's 12 years old. He's had 3 years in the majors, 2 all-star appearances, plays shortstop and second base. His favorite is second. And here in the Major A All-Star game, this one should be fun.
And we're set for baseball. First pitch misses outside. Calvin Thorne was in the home run derby earlier on. It was an exciting tournament we had here. This pitch fouled straight back to the screen. We'll play 6 innings of baseball here. And a great tradition, Jesse. This goes back a long way.
Oh yeah, the 26th annual. I was 6 years old when this All-Star game first started. How old were you, John?
What year?
26 years ago.
26 years ago. That would have been what? 1999?
Yep. I think that math checks out.
I would have been 35. Pitch misses downstairs.
Mason Vo said his favorite highlight of the season was getting to play with his 10U brother and against his 12U friends.
Ball hit to third, slightly bobbled. The throw is a little bit high, and Vo is going to reach. A little bit of a bobble there. That created an extra advantage for Mason Vo going down the line, but he beats it out.
And he actually gets to move to second because of the out-of-play throw. The bobble may have rushed that throw a bit. I don't hold too much against the third baseman for bobbling that catch. The throw, though, you can't let yourself get too rushed and make those kinds of mistakes and give your opponent a free base.
So a runner in scoring position right off the bat. Elliot Chang, the third baseman, will step in. He plays for the Giants. Right-handed hitter.
He's 12 years old, 2 years in Major A, his first Major All-Star appearance. And he plays all positions, but his favorite is first base.
So Vo at second, Chang up there with a count of 1-0. And he'll get a piece and roll it back to the backstop.
And he said his favorite highlight of the season actually came from one of his Giants teammates and the guy on deck currently, Anderson Crompton, saying his favorite highlight was when Crompton hit a home run to kick off the game early in the season.
And the pitch from Thorne will miss outside.
Chang also loves basketball all year round, so a multi-sport kid. Love to see kids getting to play multiple sports at this age.
This pitch looped to the right side, foul territory, and a nice athletic play there by Thorne. And did he come up with it? I think it may have hit the ground. It looked like so he made the play there.
I thought he had made the catch. Dang, I'm not sure what happened. Maybe he scooped it off the ground, or maybe it popped out of his glove as he was sliding.
Thorne with a fastball low and outside. There were 2 players converging on that foul pop. And Thorne picks up the strikeout. So Chang strikes out. That's the first out here in the top of the first.
Got the out either way.
Anderson Crompton, the teammate of Elliot Chang, will step in. Crompton is the center fielder.
And his favorite highlight of the season was the same as Chang's, as for him it was hitting his first home run in a Little League game.
Check swing. The defense for the American League has Peter Van Dyke in left field. Haruya Miyazawa is in center. Evan Johnson from the Orioles is in right field. And there's a cut and a miss. Around the infield, Peter Thorne is at third base. Cameron Galula is the shortstop. Jaden Lau is at second. Jack Lawrence from the Orioles is the first baseman. And Connor Chin of the Royals is behind the plate. And that's in there for a called third strike at the letters. Good pitch.
Great pitching from Calvin Thorne to start this ball game. Back-to-back strikeouts.
That'll bring up Charlie Cummings. Cummings plays for the Diamondbacks. 12-year-old up there from the right side. Runner at second, 2 away. Top of the first just underway here in Brookline. As the pitch misses low and away. Perfect night for baseball, Jesse. Temperatures in the upper 60s, no humidity. Partial cloudiness, but a perfect night to watch baseball.
Cloudiness is almost kind of nice from time to time just to block out that bright sun because it is such a beautiful day.
Going with a fastball strike.
Cummings, as you said, 12 years old, 2+ years in the majors. This is his first All-Star appearance. He plays center field, shortstop, pitcher, catcher, and first. And his favorite positions are catcher and short.
Line drive into center, and reaching up and making the catch is Miyazawa. So a fly ball out to center. So after the first man reaches, nice job by Calvin Thorne to come back and retire the side. 2 strikeouts and the fly out to center after a half an inning. It's the National League nothing, and the American League coming up to bat.
And give Miyazawa some credit there. Nice catch. There are no gimmies at this level.
Absolutely. So we'll take a look at the American League batting order. Calvin Thorne will lead off. He's the pitcher. Cameron Galula of the Royals will bat second. He's at shortstop. Connor Chin from the Royals will bat third. He's the catcher. Jack Lawrence from the Orioles will hit fourth. He's at the first base. Peter Thorne of the Red Sox batting fifth at third base. Evan Johnson from the Orioles will hit sixth. He's in right field. You got Jaden Lau of the Orioles at second base, batting seventh. And then Peter Van Dyke of the Red Sox in left field, batting eighth. Haruya Miyazawa, the center fielder. And it's going to be Charlie Cummings getting the start here, Jesse.
Absolutely.
For the National League.
Absolutely, and don't forget the rest of the AL All-Stars. Maxwell Toe of the Royals, Alan Lindy of the Red Sox, and Dawson Ziegler of the Orioles. And I think we got one more Orioles player who is not, unfortunately, going to be able to play due to an injury. Actually, we saw him in the introductions there, but I don't think he'll be able to play. That was Navid Sarabi, or Navid Sarabi. He had a brace on his wrist during the introduction, so unfortunately won't be able to participate, but still listed amongst the All-Stars.
Let's take a look at the National League defense as Ben Lee will start in left field. The center fielder is Anderson Crompton. And over in right field, you've got Trip Straum around the infield. Elliot Chang is at third base. Shortstop is Mason Vo. And you've got McCosco at second base. That's a Nano McCosco. And Kieran Regan is the first baseman. And Oshin Dehan will be doing the catching today. Charlie Cummings will complete his warm-up tosses. And the National League will step on up. Calvin Thorne from the Red Sox will lead us off here in the bottom of the first inning.
Leading off this inning just like he led off that home run derby. Finished third in that one after getting 1 home run in each of the first 2 rounds.
And Connor Chin of the Royals won the home run derby for the second year in a row. If you missed it.
And for the second year in a row, it was Jack Lawrence of the Orioles finishing as the runner-up, and those 2 batting 3 and 4 here today. So you talk about a dangerous back-to-back in the meat of the order.
Thorne takes the first pitch down low, ball 1. It should be interesting to note that these players are going to shift around to different defensive positions each inning. Cummings deals a curveball in there for a called strike on the outside corner. It is 1-1. Thorne to be followed by Galula and Chin. Taking pitch is a called strike on the inside corner.
Calvin Thorne, 12 years old, 2 years in the majors, 2 All-Star appearances. Likes to play pitcher and shortstop, and we got to see him pitch. He's top of the first.
He's bothered by a sinus infection. Pop up into shallow left, and the dive is made, but the ball falls in. And Thorne will lead us off with a base hit out to left field. Terrific effort out there by the National League's left fielder, Ben Lee.
Yeah, boy, kind of a lucky check swing hit there by Calvin Thorne. Almost bunted it out to left field there. Good efforts by Lee, but just a tough catch to make, and he couldn't make it.
Here's Cameron Galula. And he'll take the first pitch low and inside. Galula, a shortstop with the Royals. Very good defensive ball player. Cummings will work out of the stretch with a runner on, and the pitch misses downstairs just a hair.
You can see Oisin DeHaan thinking about throwing it back to first just to check on Thorne, keep him honest there at first base.
And Cummings gets a strike in there at the letters, and a quick throw down to keep the runner honest.
Yeah, DeHaan is clearly seeing Thorne move a little bit more off first base than he would like, and so he wants to keep him in check.
Breaking pitch in there, a good one for a called strike.
Galula, 12 years old, 3 years in the majors, 2 All-Star appearances. Likes to play short, pitcher, catcher, and center field, all the captain-type positions of the field, but his favorite is shortstop.
And the pitch misses low. Runner will take off. Here's the throw, and it is late.
Boy, sometimes it doesn't matter how much you keep a guy honest. If a ball gets away from you, even a little bit, because that didn't get away that far, but Thorne got a great jump on that run down to second.
So that's a wild pitch that moves the runner up to second. So a man in scoring position. And there's a ground ball, actually a low liner speared by the second baseman. That's the only out they'll get. So a line drive out to second. Galula hit it well, but the out is made. We have one man out. Nice play there by McCosco, who went down to his knees to make the play.
Nice play, and it shows how important it was that Thorne takes second, because if he's at first when that ball is hit, he's taking off immediately for second base, assuming it's going to be a grounder and trying to beat out the force, and then he gets thrown out at first. It's a double play, so that steal of second even bigger for him.
Connor Chin will step in. He'll take a called strike. Chin put on an impressive performance at the home run derby in the final round. He hit 4 home runs to secure his second consecutive home run derby championship.
And John, he just got better as that derby went on.
There's a line drive in the left field for a base hit. Ball will ricochet away, and a run will score. Chin will barrel into second. He'll get there. It's an RBI for Chin. He continues to hit the ball well. It's a single to left and an RBI. Coming around to score is Thorne. There was a bobble out there in left field, which gave the runner, Jesse, a little extra time to score.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't hold that too much against a guy at the Little League level. You know, you could see that ball took a high hop and then just started dying and rolling really fast. And the fielder just a little off positioning to make that play there. But Connor Chin with a well-hit ball that time. The kind of ball that would make you frustrated in the home run derby, but here in the regular game turns into an RBI hit.
Here's Jack Lawrence of the Orioles. And he takes the first 2 pitches high, 2-0. Lawrence, the first baseman. Jack also had some success in the home run derby.
2 homers in that final round to finish as the runner-up for the 2nd year in a row.
There's a chopper down to third
base.
That's
fair.
Side.
What is he doing? That's a fair ball.
And
oh, no, it hit him. Lawrence is saying it hit his body, so that wasn't in play. That was a dead ball.
Coach is urging the players to heed the umpire's call in those situations.
Or in that case, a non-call, because they didn't make any call. They were letting that one play out.
Lawrence with a check swing on the pitch in the dirt.
Very close to going around on that one. Oh, and they say he did go around. They gave the strike signal.
Chin the runner at second, a run home, 1-0. As Lawrence goes around on a high fastball, he'll be a strikeout victim, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
Good poise from Charlie Cummings. You know, you get what should have been a free out, but then it was ruled that it bounced off his body, and then a close check swing, needed a delayed call to get that second strike, and then still stays poised and gets that third strike that he needed.
Peter Thorne with a swing and a miss at a high fastball. Peter, a member of the Red Sox, plays first base as well as catcher. And the pitch is upstairs with a fastball. Cummings has been able to mix the fastball and curveball effectively here in the first inning, Jesse.
Yep. And Peter Thorne, the youngest AL All-Star we've seen so far at 10 years old. 1 year in the majors, 1 All-Star appearance.
The stars of tomorrow, seeing them live here. It's fun to see these young players develop. Pitch misses high from Cummings.
Good eye from Peter Thorne on those inside pitches so far early in this one.
Third baseman playing close to the line as the pitch is a strike at the letters. A run home for the American League. They lead at 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Delighted to have you with us here at beautiful Elliott Field in Brookline. And that pitch will miss up high, ball 4. Thorne will reach. It's the first walk issued by Charlie Cummings in this one.
Yeah, just really good patience from Peter Thorne. You know, had a close strike call that he thought was a ball, but, you know, didn't overthink it and gets the base on balls.
Here's Evan Johnson. Pitch is in the dirt, not far enough for an advance. Count of 1 ball and no strikes. Johnson, the right fielder, starting off this game for the American League. He'll play a few other positions today.
Johnson's favorite highlight of the season was hitting a grand slam here at Elliott.
Off-speed pitch, cut on and missed.
And Johnson also loves to play lacrosse, hockey, and golf, so he loves to make those big swings. See what he does here.
Slow roller up the first base line. It's a foul ball. Good turnout here at Elliott Field today. A lot of fans and family members taking in the action. See some lawn chairs out near the fence out there near the street. The pitch is upstairs for a ball.
Yeah, that one also looked like it might have missed to the outside. Cummings had trouble missing inside against Peter Thorne. For his sake, hope he's not overcorrecting.
Cummings deals, and that's in there for a called third strike. Johnson is called out on strikes. That'll do it. In the inning, there was 1 run, 2 hits, and they leave 1. At the end of 1, it's 1-0 American League. We're back with more in a moment. You're watching the Brookline Baseball All-Star Game right here on ESPN HD.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
All right, top half of the second inning. And the American League down a run. And we move on here with Jack Lawrence on the mound. Jesse.
Yeah, it's so interesting how they switch pitchers every inning here at Little League. And not only that, but we got a lefty, and not only that, a sidewinder.
Ben Lee leading off in the top half of the second inning for the National League. Lee is a member of the Diamondback squad. And this pitch will miss downstairs.
Lee, 12 years old, 2 years in Major A, 1 All-Star appearance. He's played first, second, third, short, left, center, right, and every position except catcher, but his favorites are second and third.
Critical positions, to be sure.
That said, his favorite highlight of the season was pitching for the first time, actually.
Lawrence with a good pitch, taking something off there, swing and a miss. This is the Brookline Major A All-Star game from Elliott Field in Brookline. Delighted to have you with us. The American League scored in the first on an RBI single off the bat of Connor Chin. Lawrence will miss up and away. That'll be a walk. Ben Lee picks up a walk. That's the first walk issued by American League pitching.
Yeah, Lawrence has got to make sure he gets his control back about him. He was starting to recover his control, but just ran out of time after a couple of missed pitches to start the at-bat.
Oshin Dahan will step in. He is the start of the game as the catcher. There's a ground ball down the third base line. It'll get into left field for a base hit, and that'll move the runner up. It'll be first and second. So Oshin, aggressive up there, Jesse, swinging at the first pitch. That moves the runner up 90 feet.
Swinging at the first pitch and getting good contact there, John. Placed it perfectly up that third base line where no one could get it.
Kieran Regan, member of the Diamondbacks, right-handed hitter. So a threat here for the National League here in the top half of the second inning. First and second, nobody out. Jack Lawrence with the deal, and it's cut on and missed.
Regan, 11 years old, 2 years in Major A, 1 All-Star appearance, and under positions played, he wrote in all caps, all. I like that, like the enthusiasm.
Grounder hit to the right side, and they'll flip to second. They'll get the lead man there. That's all they'll get. It's a force play as it goes from 4 to 6. Eliminated is Dahan going from first to second.
Yeah, they got, well, not so much the lead runner as they got the middle runner, as this will now put runners at the corners, which I think is going to be a very interesting situation in terms of base running decisions and decisions made by the catcher. We might see a double steal here.
Yes, indeed. Gabriel Jaffe will step in. Jaffe, a bench player who is a right-handed swinger, and he takes the first pitch upstairs.
And taking second unopposed will be Kieran Regan.
No throw through. So it'll be a stolen base to move the runner up. And there's a called strike.
Yeah, a lot of times defenses will just let a runner take second in that situation. They don't want to make a mistake and give a free run to the guy at third.
So you've got men at second and third now with 1 out. And the pitch is off the mid. Runner will go halfway and go back.
Yeah, if you hesitate on a play that goes all the way to the backstop, no sense in going if you hesitate. But that said, there's a bit of a dip, a bit of a hill here at the end of it, so it could die down there in the corner and be a tough recovery for the catcher. And so in that kind of situation, I would recommend going more often than not.
So first base open here. A walk won't be the end of the world. That would set up a force at any base as the pitch misses downstairs and away. But nonetheless, Jack Lawrence working carefully here.
Gabriel Jaffe at the plate, 11 years old, 2 years in Major A, first major All-Star appearance.
Fastball in there at the letters.
Thought he had ball 4, but in fact it's strike 3. That's tough.
Gabriel Jaffe did not agree with the call. That'll be the all-important second out of the inning.
Huge second out get with runners at second and third.
Nano Moscosko will step in. He'll take a fastball upstairs. Moscosko, a second baseman representing the Dodgers. He's a versatile guy. He's played pitcher, second base, shortstop, and center field. Check this swing on a pitch away.
Likes playing in the middle, and you know, it's interesting, one of the shorter players out here that's going to make things tougher on Lawrence trying to find that strike zone.
Late swing on a good fastball by Lawrence. Moscosko played for the Bandits Club baseball team out of Brookline. And this one's in the dirt. Runner will break for the plate. And And the throw will not be in time. The run scores on the wild pitch. Give a tie game, 1-1.
Like I said, good decision to go. In general, and that kind of thing, it's not going to have enough speed at this level to take a hard ricochet off the fence and come back to the catcher. Best to take off if you can get a good jump.
So runner at third, pitch to and the pitch is high, ball 4.
And just like that, we're back to runners at the corners. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw McCosco take second.
So here is Trip Strom. He is the right fielder. Now we'll have a mound visit. Jack Lawrence. Wonder if might have strained something there. We'll see, Jesse.
Yeah, it's interesting. He uses such a unique delivery with that sidewinder approach. But then it's also possible they might just be trying to settle him down. This is his second walk issued this inning. And at this lower level, if you're missing the zone, that can get away from you real fast. You don't want to keep giving free stuff to your opponent.
Jack Lawrence getting words of encouragement from not only the coaching staff, but his teammates. Trip Strom will step in. He was a call-up to the majors last year. Second All-Star appearance. And the runner will break here. Double steal. A play at the plate. Runner is safe. A double steal. And that's the go-ahead run to make it a 2-1 game. Gutsy call there.
Yeah, gutsy call, but that's exactly why catchers hesitate to throw to second in this situation, because you end up with something like this. And that's the worst-case scenario for the American League. I mean, if they had caught the runner at second, it would have ended the inning, but they get nothing. And now a wild pitch gets the guy all the way to third.
So a run has scored on a wild pitch and a double steal in the inning. And the National League has grabbed a 2-1 lead. Good pitch there by Jack Lawrence, in there for a called strike.
That's just it, John. Base running and small ball is key at this level.
And this one smacked foul down the first base line.
Trip Strom, 11 years old, likes to play pitcher, second, short, right, center, catcher, left, and third, which I think is everything but first base.
And a big cut and a miss there. That'll be strike 3, and that's the final.
He actually didn't fully miss that one. He got a piece of it, but a nice grab behind the plate by the Orioles' number 11, Evan Johnson.
And so the National League has forged into the lead here. We've played an inning and a half, and the National League is up by a score of 2-1. And Jesse, that wasn't the prettiest inning of all time, but hey, a run is a run. You have to manufacture it any way you can.
Exactly. Manufactured runs are so important, not just at this Little League level, even at the high school level. You see this a lot, you know, where guys just have to find ways to score because not everybody is capable of sending a ball over the fence. You know, it's not like the 3 true outcomes that we get a lot at the MLB level. Guys gotta steal bases. Yep. Guys have to take off on wild pitches. You know, guys have to lay down sack bunts. Everything is in play when it comes to the strategy here at this Little League level.
So the American League will come up here in the bottom of the second. Elliot Chang moves to the pitcher's mound here in the bottom of the second inning. And we are just about set here in the bottom half of the second inning. So Elliot Chang, who started the game at third, moves now to the mound.
Yep, and it'll be the
Maxwell Toe.
7, 8, 9 hitters.
Yep, Maxwell Toe, Jaden Lau, and Peter Van Dyke. Coming on up for the American League here in the bottom of the second. This is the 26th annual Pops Showstack Brookline Major A All-Star Game. Great traditions over the years, Jesse. This has been a very, very popular, fun event.
So much fun. You see so many people from the community, from the families coming out for this one. You know, so many people end up dedicating so much time to this youth baseball, none more so than our producer and Orioles manager, Arlen Showstack, celebrating 50 years
was honored
in Brookline Youth Baseball.
Was honored for his 50th year of being involved here with Brookline Youth Baseball, and we send our congratulations certainly to Arlen as the first pitch misses downstairs to Max Toe, a catcher, pitcher, first baseman, and center fielder. And this pitch is inside for a ball.
Toe is 12 years old, 2 years in Major A, 2 All-Star appearances, and his hobbies when not playing baseball, he says he loves competing with his older brothers, going to the beach and eating pho or Korean barbecue. And it's so funny to me because I've actually covered his older brothers at other levels. I covered his older brother Corey Toe with Brookline High, ice hockey, and lacrosse. And I've covered his older brother Tato in summer baseball.
Pitch down and away, that'll be ball 4, so it's a walk. And Toe will reach. That is the second walk issued by National League pitching in this one. That will bring us now to Jaden Lau, member of the Orioles. Started the game at second base. Pitch up in the zone. They'll check in down at first.
Boy, that was a close ball call there. And if you're the pitcher, you can't let that get to you. You gotta keep, you can't let your control get away from you.
Look foul off to the right.
Getting the ball back in the zone. Good work from the pitcher there. It can be so easy at these lower levels for your stuff to get away from you, and you start issuing walk after walk, and then the game gets out of control. But maintaining good poise here.
Speed pitch and a good one.
Jaden Lau, 11 years old, 1 year in the majors. This is his first All-Star appearance.
Jaden gets a piece of it, fouls it off. You know, he says he wants to also play some basketball as well.
As well as Fortnite with his friends in his free time.
Breaking ball is up and outside.
And his favorite highlight of the season for Jaden Lau, that's stealing home on a delayed steal against the Giants.
Grounder to first, that'll stay in play. They'll get the out there and the runner will advance. So that's a productive out as Lau moves the runner up 90 feet.
Yes, productive out, but still solid play at first. I believe it was Anderson Crompton who made that play for his getting the out for his Giants teammate Elliot Chang on the mound. Just a little delayed in realizing that he could make the throw to second.
Peter Van Dyke with a swing and a miss. He's a member of the Red Sox. This pitch will go back to the backstop. And on the wild pitch, the runner will advance.
Yeah, Chang's had some trouble with those high pitches. Like I said, can't let your stuff get out of control here. One more wild pitch and we could have a tie game once again.
The right-hander deals, and it's in the dirt. Nice stop behind the plate. Van Dyke has played all positions except catcher. He's the Bert Campaneris of the league. Pitch is popped up to the right side of the infield. First baseman calling, and catch is made. That'll be the second out of the inning.
That's a good out to get for Chang. Get that second out and don't allow the runner to move on any kind of sacrifice play.
It's Haruya Miyazawa, 10-year-old right-handed hitter from the Royals. And he'll take the first pitch up for ball 1. This is his first All-Star appearance.
Likes to play pitcher, shortstop, right field, and catcher.
And that pitch, it looked
that
like it nicked him on the helmet.
That nicked him on the helmet, and that means that Toe cannot come home because the ball is dead.
You okay? See that pitch first, kid.
That will create a situation where you have runners at first and third.
Hey, get the next one. This is all you.
And Alan Lindy, a member of the Red Sox, will step in. Fastball misses upstairs.
And they're going to let Miyazawa take second. They're not going to risk it after they themselves scored on the double steal in the top half of the inning.
So 2 runners in scoring position here. 2-1 ball game. National League on top of the American League is threatening. Off-speed pitch is in there for a called strike.
Lindy, 12 years old, 2 years in Major A, 1 All-Star appearance. Plays catcher mainly, but also third and outfield.
There's a called strike. Ball not held by the catcher, but
Lindy's struggling with the zone here. A couple of calls that he didn't like, but he has got to maintain his poise, and he's got to protect the plate with a 2-strike count here.
this pitch misses low and away. Outfield straight around from left to right as the pitch misses downstairs. Lindy will draw a walk.
Good poise from Lindy there. 2 strikes, you know, some close calls, and still able to be patient and get the free pass.
Dawson Ziegler is the batter.
Boy, the bottom of the order coming up with bases loaded and 2 out. I love baseball, John.
Yep. Ziegler takes the pitch upstairs, 11-year-older.
First year in the majors, 1 All-Star appearance, plays center, second, and first. Prefers center.
Hit a grand slam against the Giants. That's his biggest thrill. He also plays the cello. Pitch in the dirt, goes back to the backstop. Runner breaks for the plate. It'll be close. He's out. So they took a chance. And on the wild pitch, the out is recorded at the plate. So the American League threatens. They do not score here in the bottom of the second. So we will head to the third. The score after 2. The National League 2, the American League 1. You're watching the Brookline Major A All-Star Game, the 26th annual Pop Showstack Classic, right here on ASPN HD.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Welcome back. Top half of the third. We are coming to you from Elliott Field in Brookline. Jesse Mayfield Sheehan along with John Leahy here. And we move along to the top of the third inning. And Terry Zhang will step in. That's Jerry Zhang. And the first pitch, this is outside, ball 1. And into his second inning of work on the mound, it's Maxwell Toe from the Royals.
This is his first inning. We had Lawrence last inning.
Yes, you are correct. I was going off my score sheet here.
Yeah, no, it gets so tricky at the Little League level with them switching positions every single inning, especially with the All-Star game, because I think it might be that they don't pitch anybody multiple innings in the All-Star game. That much I know for sure. Jerry Zhang, 11 years old, 1 year in the majors, 1 All-Star appearance.
Ground ball sharply hit to second. Left-handed second baseman making the play there. That was a terrific play.
Nicely done by the Orioles' number 9, Dawson Ziegler. Didn't get a chance to try and knock in the runners at the end of the bottom of the second as a runner was caught stealing home, but he makes a nice play at second there.
Here's Meyer Surnamer, and the pitch will miss inside, ball 1.
Yeah, Surnamer, 11 years old, 1 year in the majors, 1 All-Star appearance. Plays catcher, short, second, and left. Prefers catcher. And his favorite highlight of the season is throwing out base runners trying to steal second base. That's how you know he's got the heart of a catcher.
Check swing, and he went around. We'll play 6 innings here. We're in the top of the third, National League up on top 2-1.
Surnamer's favorite hobbies, aside from baseball, are golf and Minecraft.
Off speed is in there for a called strike. I guess your golf swing would help your baseball swing, right? So that's beneficial.
Yeah, if nothing else, the fundamentals of swinging can translate, but no swing that time.
So it's a strikeout. And that's the second out of the inning. So Toe has picked up 2 quick outs here. And we're back around to the top of the order. Mason Vo reached on an infield single in the first and was stranded at second. There's a called strike. Vo, a member of the Dodgers.
Yeah, he hit a grounder to third last time, bobbled just slightly, and a bad throw allowed him to go to second. But like you said, left stranded.
Grounder to the right side, and Ziegler will make the play. And that's the end of the inning. A very quick inning as Vo grounds out 4-3. And the National League goes down 1-2-3. Jesse, that's the first perfect inning we've seen here in Brookline today.
Absolutely, and I mean, not only that, I've said before, you know, there's no such thing as a routine play at this level. I know when we get to like the pros and stuff, you'll say, this guy hits a routine grounder to short because you know that the shortstop can make that play in his sleep. That's not what happens here. Any play could lead to a mistake, and with how short the distance is on the base paths in Little League, you can leg out an infield single even to second base. So the second baseman Ziegler had to, you know, move fast on that one, and he did, and he executed simple and clean there to get the job done.
Well, Arnold Showstack was honored in between the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game, and he mentioned that at one point in his career as a coach, he actually had to coach against his father, as Nathan Showstack went on to coach the Tigers, and Arnold was still with the Orioles, and that must have been very strange having them coach against each other.
Talk about strange. He also mentioned how his father coached third base for both teams in that game.
Yeah.
But, you know, that just shows, you know, like I said, you know, I compare the Major League game that all fans of baseball have some exposure to with this, you know, game here at the youth level. And those are just some of the logistical aspects that you take for granted at the higher levels is, you know, things like having enough coaches, having enough officials, having a good grounds crew, you know, all the things that, you know, go on beyond just having the players is something that, you know, requires a lot of time and effort. And, you know, at the majors, you can solve that with the kind of money that they have at the professional level. Here, not the case. You've got to really have that sense of community and that love of the game and of these kids to make sure that everything comes together. And the folks here in Brookline do a great job of that.
And we have to also acknowledge the umpires. They do a great job at this
100%.
level. And it's certainly much appreciated.
Took the words right out of my mouth, John. You know, they do a thankless job for very little, if any, pay at these lower levels.
It's love of the game.
Yeah. You got to love the game, and that's why I always say thank an official, be kind to an official, even if you don't agree with a call. Understand they're seeing the game from a different perspective than you are, and they're doing this job is the reason that this game can happen.
All right, Dawson Ziegler will lead off, and the first pitch misses for ball one. We've got Nano McCusco on the mound for the National League.
Ziegler was at the plate at the end of the second inning, but because the runner got caught stealing, he gets to come back and finish his plate appearance here.
Dawson lifts it high in the air left side. Going to be a tough play. And the shortstop went out into shallow left. Did he hang on? It looked like he did.
Left fielder didn't hang on.
No, he did not. All right.
That was almost a great play out in left by Ben Lee, but just couldn't fully hold on to it. Would have been a really tough play. Well hit single for Ziegler.
Back around to the top of the order as Thorne fouls one off to the right side. Thorne singled to left in the first inning, moved up to second on a wild pitch and came around to score on an RBI single by Chin. 2-1 your score. National League up on top. The American League is batting here in the bottom of the third. This is the Brookline Major A All-Star Game.
You American League's defense was able to generate some momentum in the top half. Can their offense come through here?
Sharply hit to third. Ball is knocked down, and they'll get the lead runner. 5-4 on the force out. Terrific play defensively there.
Wow. That was number 7 of the Diamondbacks, Jerry Zhang, with the fast glove there. The bounce off the grass changed trajectory of the ball, and he adjusted his glove perfectly despite being turned around, having his back to the ball. Still made a great stab at it. Beautiful play.
Cameron Galula stepping in. He lined out to second in his first at bat. He's 0 for 1. It's a piece and fouls it back to the screen. 1 out, 1 on in the bottom of the third inning. 2-1 National League up on top. And this one sliced foul off to the left and out of play. Galula, a member of the Royals. Each team in the league well represented.
When Galula's not playing baseball, he likes to play flag football, basketball, go to Red Sox games, and hang with friends.
Grounded to short. They'll get the lead man at least. The return throw is offline. And so it'll be a fielder's choice and an error.
Yep, and the coach was saying that was the right choice. And I agree with him. You know, no sense not going for the double play when you have that chance. Rushed the throw a bit and missed it wide. But you know what? You got the second out.
Here's Connor Chin. Drove in a run with a single his first time up. Grounder hit sharply to third. They have the man in a pickle. And the final out of the inning will occur, as it'll go 5 unassisted on the force out. And
that's not a force out. That was a tag out.
Yes, yes.
But still, 3 consecutive fielder's choices. Well played by both infields in this third inning.
It goes as a fielder's choice, 5 unassisted, and that'll be it. We will step aside at the end of 3. It's the National League 2, the American League 1. You're watching the Brookline Major A All-Star Game from Brookline on ASPN HD.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Top half of the fourth inning. We return to Elliott Field in Brookline. The National League leading 2-1. Peter Van Dyke are now on the mound as we start the fourth, and the first pitch is grounded back to the mound. Van Dyke from his knees makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Boy, we are just seeing one great infield play after another between these two teams, John, showing defensively today why they are all-stars. Great play by Van Dyke there.
Elliott Chang swings at the first pitch, and here's Anderson Crompton. He'll lift this one high to the right side and out of play. Jesse, we want to talk about the coaches as well, as they have put their heart and soul into coaching these young men.
Absolutely.
And we want to give props to them. John Galula, one of them from the Royals, and he is in his 7th year of coaching Brookline Youth Baseball as a swing and a miss. 3rd year in the majors. And when John was asked what his favorite highlight of the season was, he said there were too many to pick just one. He loves the way his Royals team works hard, improves, and competes with enthusiasm. There's a foul back.
And when he's not coaching baseball, John enjoys golf, tennis, and biking.
Crompton was called out on strikes his first time. And a late cut there. He'll go down swinging. And he's 0 for 2. That's the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here in the top of the 4th. Charlie Cummings will step on in. Cummings, who began the game on the mound, flied out to center in his first at bat. He's 0 for 1. Hot smash over the glove of the third baseman into left field. Evan Johnson, the third baseman there. That ball hopped over his glove, and the runner will move into second. How would you score that one, Jesse?
I would score it. I think at the Little League level, you got to be a little more generous with the offense, and I would score that a double. I mean, he had no hesitation going around first. If he had hesitated, he's not making it.
First extra base hit of the ball game, and Ben Lee will step in.
I actually had Connor Chin's RBI hit marked as a double, but I could also see it being marked as a single since it bounced off of the fielder.
Big swing and a miss there by Ben Lee. Ben walked in the second inning, and he came around to score on a wild pitch. Another coach we want to talk about, Jesse, is Wes Chin.
Co-head coach of the
from the Royals, yeah.
5 years in BYB, 2 in the majors.
Speed pitch in there for a called strike.
And for Wes, he said his favorite highlight in our game against the Giants, behind 3-1 to start the 6th inning. During that inning, the team scrapped together to rally as we got an attempted steal.
Runner breaks for third, tried to avoid the tag. And what's the call? Did they call him out?
It looks like they did.
Might have run out of the baseline as well.
That's true.
Tried to avoid the tag. So
a little over-aggressive on the base pads.
We'll call that a caught stealing.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. And we played 3.5. The National League leads 2-1. And while we have a break in between innings here, Jesse, let's talk about some more coaches.
Still talking about Wes Chin. We didn't get a chance to finish there. As his favorite highlight of the season, a game against the Giants. They were behind 3-1. The Royals were behind 3-1 to start the 6th inning, and during that inning, this team scrapped together a rally to eventually tie the game. With 2 outs, Aaron was on first base and represented the go-ahead run. Leo came up to bat. Aaron stole second and eventually made it over to third. Then, unprompted, Leo decided to bunt, and Aaron was able to score on the squeeze play that was entirely orchestrated by the kids.
Outstanding.
And when Wes is not coaching baseball, likes to spend time with family and friends, likes to run, ski, and he's trying to get back into playing tennis.
Great stuff. Trip Strom will pitch the bottom half of the 4th inning for the National League.
Facing the 4, 5, 6 here, Jack Lawrence, Peter Thorne, and Evan Johnson.
Adam Rothschild is another coach involved.
Wait, do I have that right? I think I.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Adam Rothschild, head coach, 6th year in Brookline Youth Baseball, 2nd year in the majors. And he has nothing but great things to say about his team. High spirit, positive attitudes. They did lose a 22-0 game to the Royals, but we talked about this earlier. They kept it positive and focused on the good stuff. Kids were patting each other on the back after tough plays, and he says their team motto is "hit a nuke, dude." Adam is a established drummer in his band, loves to sail, and is a big fan of cooking bacon. Who isn't?
Well, I think you'll find plenty of people who are fans of eating bacon, barring any dietary or religious restrictions.
If you're talking about bacon, what you want to do is when you go to Jersey Mike's subs, you got to get bacon on your sub. That's a must do.
Pro tips for ordering sandwiches here from John Leahy.
Well, I've been eating sandwiches a little longer than you, so.
That is true. You've been doing a lot of things longer than me. Remind me, how old again were you in 1999?
Let's see, that would have been 35.
You were 3 years older than I am right now in 1999 when I was 6 years old.
I didn't want to bring that up, but since you did. Okay.
Math can be fun, John.
Yeah. Here's Jack Lawrence, and he'll top the first pitch to the right side, and the first out of the inning will be recorded. Lawrence, first pitch swinging.
Another nice play from a left-throwing second baseman. Once again, you can't take the norms, the higher levels for granted here at Little League. You got to make plays no matter what arm you're throwing with.
Peter Thorne will step in. He'll swing at the first pitch and foul it straight back. Peter drew a walk in his first at bat. So Tripp Strom gets a very quick out on one pitch. And this one's looped to the right side. That will be out of play.
Doing a good job drawing swings here. You know, you can't be afraid of opponents swinging at your pitches. Can't get too tricky. Got to throw strikes.
Off-speed pitch popped to the right side, and Ziegler in position to make the play. 2 away.
That was actually made by one of the Dodgers players. I can't quite see the number, but given that Strom is on the mound, that means one of his Dodgers teammates, either Surnamer or McCosco or Vo. Not sure which. You can't see the jersey number from this angle.
Well, here's Johnson. Struck out his first time, called out on strikes. Strom pitching with confidence here. And he's working out of the stretch with nobody on. Off-speed pitch, Johnson with a swing and a miss.
Throwing nothing but strikes. You love to see that from a pitcher.
And he works fast. There's a pop-up into shallow center. Very much playable, and the final out of the inning is recorded. Johnson flies out to center. Side retired in order. We have played 4 innings in the Brookline Major A All-Star game. It is 2-1 in favor of the National League. We're back with more in a moment right here on ESPN HD.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own, a place that I call home, this place that I call home.
Welcome back to Elliott Field in Brookline, top half of the 6th inning. The National League up on top by a score of 2-1. Ben Lee leading us off.
This is Osheen Deegan.
Oh, my apologies. As we start the top of the 6th, Haruya Miyazawa pitching for the American League. And Holden Hodgson joining us, the commissioner of the Brookline Youth Baseball Organization. And Holden, it's great to have you here with us.
Pleased to be here. This is a highlight of all of our spring baseball seasons that I've been part of, is the Majors, exhibition all-star game, the 26th annual Nathan Pop Showstack event. Just such a great tradition to come out here and be blessed with good weather and great talent, and all of our players, coaches, families so enthusiastic. It's such a wonderful exhibition.
And you mentioned it's the culmination of what happens throughout the regular season. I imagine it's got to be a big thrill for these kids to be involved in this type of game.
Indeed. They say game recognizes game. That's what this game is about here. All these players have voted for each other on their respective teams.
Ground ball hit to third, and the first out of the inning will be recorded.
Great defense in this game, but yeah, these players all recognize that they are the class of the Majors group. And I run Majors. I'm happy to run it for the last 5 years. Inherited it from Craig Chin, who ran it before me, and then so many before us. It's a long tradition.
Here's Kieran Regan. He'll step in with 1 man away here in the top of the 5th. Ball is top foul off to the left. And I know you've worked with Arlen Showstack quite a bit. Arlen recognized for 50 years of service. And what else can you say? 5 decades, what a run.
What a tremendous individual. And then streaming this event.
Ball hit to third. It's off the glove of the third baseman, and Regan will reach with an infield single.
A tough ball. Elliott Hop, maybe. We've seen enough of those.
Absolutely. Gabriel Jaffe is due next. And Holden, Arlen's history goes back quite a long time. His father played a big role in these games, didn't he?
Yes. It's named for him. We brought that tradition back to the actual proper name of this event. We're happy with that. The Showstack name needs to be recognized, and then the Orioles family obviously recognized Arlen for his participation, of those decades. And he's, broadcasting this game, and we'll replay it for the benefit of everyone to go back and look and really relive some of their best moments. It's just such a fantastic event.
There's a ground ball hit up the middle, and they'll get the lead man. The return throw is not in time. It'll be a fielder's choice, 4-6 if you're scoring along with us at home. Regan is forced out at second. So if a youngster wants to play ball in this league, what is the procedure? Well, how do they go about playing?
Realistically, most of these kids we've carried up from the very beginning, and we just fight to make it as interesting and active throughout all the early formative stages, so that by the time they get here and they're confident in their ability, that they're really enjoying it. So that discipline and training gets them to this level, and then they get a chance to show it here. So it's really the younger ages where maybe it's more difficult to keep kids interested, and we do a good job in BYB at all of our levels. I mean, Wes is one of the coaches for the Royals. He's our single A commissioner. He's got a job to make sure that we have a pipeline, and that pipeline is strong year after year after year with the hundreds of families and players that we have. Really, it culminates in this for the small diamond, and our hope is that all these small diamond players have success and continue to play up to the big diamond, the intermediate levels, and ultimately into high school.
McCosco is the batter as the foul tips one back. I like the fact that teams are represented by major league names. That's got to be something that the kids get a kick out of.
Yeah, and special credit to our current president, John Miller, about that. We've kind of worked on our color format so that we have distinction on the field with our uniforms. These maybe aren't the best teams always, in the current National League and American League standings in the majors, but like they represent kind of a good, standout color for each team.
Yep. Pitch is foul tipped. Notice this young man umpiring. How do folks get involved if they want to umpire in the league?
Oh, great question. Luke Hogan's is the home plate umpire. Alec Rabiner's umpiring the bases. Both of them have history on the small dime with us. I mean, what makes good players also makes good umpires. They understand the game as well, or better than most of our fans and coaches. They take it very seriously, and they do such a good job. We're thankful to have them.
Absolutely. Runner takes off. Pitch is cut on and missed on a high fastball, and that'll be the final out of the inning. Holden, thanks so much for being with us. We truly appreciate it.
It was my pleasure.
All right.
BYB, play ball.
All right, Holden Hodgson joining us, and Jesse will jump back on the commentary here. A strikeout of McCosco, and that will end the inning. And our score after 4.5, it is the National League 2 and the American League 1. And Jesse, the pitching has really settled in this game.
Boy, it has been really something. I mean, we haven't even seen that many balls to the outfield today, John.
Yeah.
Great job from the pitchers, inducing weak contact that their infielders can make plays on, and great job by the infielders, too. Not all of these plays are gimmies. I would say almost none of them are gimmies at this level, and it's just been one great play after another. And I think we're about to get a musical performance. Are we getting Take Me Out of the Ball Game here or something?
It would appear that is the case. So we will have some musical entertainment here at Elliott Field in Brookline.
Hold ball, hold ball.
Well, incorporating that great baseball tradition into Brookline youth baseball is a special thing. Well done, Jesse, by our musical performers here.
Yeah, and I loved the unique instrument choice there. The sound kind of reminded me of Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins.
That is called a melodica, by the way.
Oh.
I happen to have one at my house.
No kidding.
Yeah. pretty cool instrument to play.
No, you're quite the musically gifted guy. If I've,
yes.
I think I've seen some of your posts of you playing guitar as well.
Just go to my website and see a few samples. And music and sports, gotta love it. All right, we're gonna move along to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The National League up on top by a score of 2-1. And Kieran Reagan has moved to the pitcher's spot. In the American League, coming on up here in the 5th, the 2 hitters are Toe, Lau, and Van Dyke.
And the American League has got to make something happen because they're starting to run out of chances here. That, you know, that knot that they're in is getting tighter and tighter as the end of the game draws closer and closer.
Jesse, let's talk about a few more coaches here. Jeffrey Lindy is here representing the Red Sox. He's an assistant coach, and he's in his 2nd year in Brookline Youth Baseball and 2nd year in the majors.
Yeah, and his favorite highlight was seeing his first in-game home run from his team at Lars Anderson Field. And when he's not coaching baseball, his hobbies include running long distance and learning piano.
I love this captain.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Jaden, this is Maxwell Toe leading off. And the first pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. Toe walked. Went to 2nd on an infield grounder, went to 3rd on a wild pitch. Tried to score on a wild pitch and was thrown out at the plate.
Yeah, that last one, when he was caught on a wild pitch, it took that weird hop off the fence that I said was less likely to happen at this level. And the catcher at the time, Oshin Dian, made a great play at the plate.
Hot smash to the shortstop. Tough bounce, but it's handled, and the first out of the inning has been recorded. Toe is out on a ground ball to short, 1 away.
Yeah, good read as the ball took a bit of a weird hop, but took a slow weird hop. That's the thing about it. If a ball changes trajectory off the infield grass, it'll either like shoot off like a laser and there's almost nothing as an infielder you can do.
Jaden Lau toward the middle. That's going to find its way into shallow center field for a base hit. Lau had grounded out to first in his first at bat. That is the 3rd hit for the American League in this game.
Good hit there by Lau, and you got to wonder how aggressive the American League is going to be on the base pads here late in the game. As a nice cover on the bouncing pitch there by the catcher Mason Vo.
Here's Peter Van Dyke. Van Dyke in his first at bat grounded out to first. And the pitch misses up high. We also have to, of course, mention Arlen Showstack. We're talking about coaches and people important to the league. Pitch misses up and away. Arlen in his 50th year of coaching Brookline Youth Baseball.
My God, everyone else is in single digits, and there's Arlen with the big 5-0. That's crazy.
Pitch misses downstairs. He's spent all 50 of those years coaching in the Brookline Youth Baseball majors, and it's been with the Orioles throughout. The pitch is in there for a strike. Arlen says that this whole season's been a highlight. He really enjoys working with all the players, building their confidence and supporting them any way he can while teaching baseball skills.
And I'll tell you, I get the sentiment, but so many people are being like, I'm just not going to pick one. I'm just going to say the whole season. Like, make a decision, you cowards. But in all seriousness, I enjoy the positive sentiments that everyone's bringing.
Van Dyke with a walk. That'll move runners up to first and second. And
this is going to be interesting for Miyazawa. Very big potential to tie this game with a runner in scoring position. 2 in scoring position, make that.
Pitch back to the backstop. Both runners will advance. So it's a wild pitch. Lau goes to third.
Great backup job. Great backup job by Tripp Strom out in left. That saved a run.
Miyazawa was hit by a pitch, his first at bat.
And almost was hit by one there.
He stole second, but was left stranded there. Pitch in the dirt. Do they try to score? No. Ball didn't carry him Far enough away for an advance. You've got runners at second and third. There is one man out in the inning. Miyazawa takes that pitch up high.
And that is going to be ball 4. So with one out, we've got the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 5th. This is getting really tight here late in this one, John.
Yes, it is. That'll bring up Lindy, Alan Lindy. Lindy drew a walk his first time. Off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. Bases now loaded with one out. The American League threatening, trying to overcome a 2-1 deficit. There's been no scoring since the second inning. American League got 1 in the bottom of the first. National League with 2 in the second. That's been it. As a looper into shallow center, ball will drop, and 1 run will score. They'll hold up the second runner. It's an RBI single for Lindy, and he'll pick up the RBI to tie up the ball game. It's 2-2.
Small ball is king here in Little League, John, and that was perfectly placed single into shallow center by Lindy, and ultimately pretty good collection out in center field to prevent a second potential run from scoring.
So Van Dyke goes to third, and Miyazawa moves up to second. So the bases remain loaded, station to station baseball. Here's Ziegler stepping in. The pitch will miss downstairs. The American League has a golden opportunity to take the lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We have a 2-2 score now. Off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. Do you have what Ziegler did in his first at-bat?
Yes, he singled to lead off the bottom of the 3rd after his after his initial plate appearance ended prematurely because of toe getting thrown out at home.
I'm trying to use multicolored pens here to keep track of everything. Pitches in the dirt. So Ziegler.
Great block by Mason Vo, though. He's had a couple of really nice blocks behind the plate.
And there's a called third strike. Big out there.
That's 2 outs. What are you doing?
And that was the second out of the inning.
Oh, no. Oh,
Jesse, maybe you could recap that play for our audience.
Okay. Ziegler was called out on strike 3, but that was only the second out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That was only the second out of the inning. And so that allowed the runner to come home because the NL thought the inning was over. We had a real Milton Bradley situation there where they miscounted the outs.
It was Van Dyke who scored the go-ahead run. And that makes it a 3-2 game. So, mental miscue. The runner here will take second.
I didn't even realize Lindy was still at first. I assumed he also ran ahead in the chaos, but he stayed.
So the American League has scored twice. And they now have a 3-2 lead. So runners at second and third with 2 men out in the inning. Thorne today has singled and hit into a fielder's choice, 1 for 2. Thorne does not want a free pass.
Yeah, second and third, you'd rather put a ball in play.
Pitch is inside. That's a free ball. Runner will break for the plate. Close play, he's safe. And that makes it 4-2.
That's tough. And oh, it looks like he got some dust in his eye.
That'll be a walk to Thorne and a wild pitch.
Miyazawa in to score on that play. And they're going to take a moment to check on the pitcher, Kieran Regan. Honestly, he made a nice catch at the plate in the midst of that sliding chaos. He just couldn't get his glove on the runner's body. That was the difference there. He was very close to applying that tag at the plate, but just couldn't get his glove on the runner's body. And I hope he's okay, because it seemed like he got some dust in his eye on that play.
So it's been a 3-run inning for the American League, and they have taken a 4-2 lead. Kind of a bizarre inning.
Like we've been saying, John, base running and small ball is what's key here at this level, as we've only had one RBI hit this inning, and it was a bloop single to center. But we are going to see a new pitcher here for the National League.
Yes, it looks like
O'Sheen Dean.
O'Sheen Dehan will come on to pitch. And he will face Galula, who has lined out and hit into a fielder's choice. 0 for 2. And he'll get as many warm-up pitches as he needs to get ready.
Yeah.
Which is normally the case when a player goes out because of an injury.
And we see a big meeting of the National League players just out past second base there, as they're probably trying to like recenter themselves, get in a mindset where they can get that third out, bounce back from this big loss of momentum here, losing the lead, now trailing. You know, the very next half inning is going to be their last chance now. I mean, that's how this goes. This has gone from them needing 6 outs to win to now they only have 3 outs between them and losing the game. So that's just how quickly the script can flip on you in baseball.
So the warm-up tosses have been completed. And Dehan will work to Galula. Galula lined out to second and reached in a fielder's choice. Also moved up on an error. So the National League looking for that magical third out. Runner will advance to second on the play.
Unopposed, not trying to force anything.
This one's looped foul, back straight up and out of play.
Keep in mind, they only need 1 more out to get out of the inning. But it is still a tough situation with runners at second and third now.
Hit in the air, left side, left fielder coming over in foul territory, and he makes the running catch. Great catch there.
Boy,
and that'll be the final out of the inning.
Tripp Strom not living up to his name as he stays upright and puts on the wheels to make a great catch in foul territory out and left. And the National League needed that in a big way.
3-run score for the American League. We have played 5 innings. American League 4, National League 2. You're watching the Brookline Major A All-Star Game, the Nathan Pops Showstack Classic on ASPN HD.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We welcome you back to Elliott Field in Brookline. Top half of the 6th, last chance for the National League. They'll have the bottom 3 hitters in their order. Tripp Strom, followed by Terry Zhang and Myers Surnamer. And on to pitch, it is going to be Cameron Galula. 4-2 lead for the American League. And Galula's first pitch is down low for ball 1.
Yeah, it's a tight spot here for a pitcher trying to get the last 3 outs of what's been such a close back and forth game.
Strom struck out his first time. He's 0 for 1.
Galula's got to throw strikes from start to finish here in this inning.
This was fouled straight back. Good pitch to hit there. American League with a 3-run 5th to erase a 2-1 deficit. Fastball too high from the right-hander. Naveed Sarabi, another coach we want to talk about from the Orioles. 4 years coaching Brookline youth baseball. Pitch is called for a strike, and his first year in the majors. Favorite highlight of the year, Quentin Bowman's almost hitting for the cycle, just missing the home run. The cycle. Pop up to the left side, drifting foul and out of play. Enjoys tennis and snowboarding. A few other coaches to get to. Jonathan Lau from the Orioles, 4 years coaching Brookline youth baseball, first year in the majors. Brian Crompton of the Giants, his 6th year in Brookline youth baseball. Here's ball 4. You don't want to do that, Jesse. You don't want to walk the leadoff man.
Give a lot of credit to Strom there. He battled for that one, got a couple of foul balls, got a pitch that he thought was ball 4 but was strike 2, and stayed poised and got on base. Tying run now at the plate.
Here's Jerry Zhang. He hits a ground ball to the third baseman. It's bobbled, and everyone's going to be safe.
Ooh, looked at the base before he had the ball in his hands. And he was trying to get the lead runner rather than just get the out. If he had focused on the ball and then just made the play to first, could have had one out there, but instead, 2 runners on, tying run at first.
Here's Meyer Surnamer. He struck out his first time. He's 0 for 1. Good pitch, fastball inside corner. So 2 on, nobody out, and the National League trying to erase a 4-2 deficit. Reaches out, hits it back to the mound. There's 1 out.
Oh, there's 2.
And they get the double play.
Wow.
It's a double play. It goes 1-6 on the score sheet. And just like that, the National League is down to their last out.
Boy, you talk about all the crazy reversals we've had, from the American League's 1-0 lead to an immediate 2-1 lead for the National League. The last-minute reversal of fortune in the bottom of the 5th by the American League offense, and now a big reversal of momentum by the American League defense here at the end of the game.
Mason Vo is the batter. He takes the pitch up high. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. National League down to their last out. And he's got to hit the deck as that pitch was upstairs.
Nice, good quick dodging there by Vo, and a nice snag by the catcher, Connor Chin.
Lifted foul, straight back. Sometimes luck is involved in this great game, Jesse, and it was a look what I found, a double play.
Absolutely.
The right-hander ready. Pitch skips away, back to the backstop. Runner will advance up to second.
Yeah, but now the tying run is at the plate rather than on base. You know, even just further cementing the impact of that double play ball.
Gilula to the plate. Drive in a left center. It hangs up, and the catch is made. That'll end the ball game.
Well read out in left field there. Nice grab made to end the ball game.
The American League posts the victory, 4-2. There were some anxious moments there in the top of the 6th inning, Jesse, but a big double play turned the tide in that inning.
Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, you take away that double play and just make it a singular line out. That's runners at 2nd and 3rd after that wild pitch. And then that big fly out to left could have been a sac fly. Could have turned it into a 1-run ball game with 2 outs. And who knows what happens after that. But some heads-up defense has really defined this entire game for both teams. Great game.
So the American League rallies with a 3-run 5th inning. They defeat the National League here at the Showstack Brookline Major A All-Star game. Final score, the American League 4 and the National League 2. Jesse, they are wrapping things up here, and folks getting together and congratulating each other. And it really is a special moment for these players. They all are good friends playing on different teams, and you know, you love to see the sportsmanship being taught at this young level. It's great.
Absolutely. You know, sportsmanship and respect for your opponent is not the enemy of your passion for the game. You know, I know it's very easy to be like, oh, I've got to treat every game like I'm going after my opponent. They're my enemy, or I won't have the intensity I need to play at the highest level. Nonsense. If you love this game, if you really have a true passion for it, then you can still bring an intense competition while still maintaining respect for your opponent. And this game today is a perfect example of that.
This is where these kids learn these critical skills. This is the first point that they learn not only their baseball skills, but their ability to be good sportsmen. And we will have a post-game presentation here. We're going to send it over to Holden Hodgson right now.
Wow. Wow, what a fantastic game. What a fantastic All-Star exhibition game in the 26th annual Nathan Pop Showstack All-Star game. Let's have a hand for everybody involved here. Players, coaches, families, that was fantastic. That was really a great game. Well played. What a well-played game defensively, the pitching, the catching, good offense. I was really thrilled to see it. It's the culmination of the team formation, how the coaches have drafted these teams, and how they've coached you to date in the regular season, which will finish soon before the playoffs. It's a really good show of the strength of our town league, and it's a credit to the coaches and the players both that we get such a performance. So, look, I'm really thrilled as the Majors Commissioner to be able to just watch this and enjoy this. I hope all the kids and the players and the families enjoyed this. Special thanks to all the people that have supported us getting this started. Ann, who's run Game Changer for us, and all the others that helped stage this. This takes a lot to do, okay? So let's hear for all the people that always put in effort, okay? Okay? With that, I want to pass it to Coach Brian and Aaron to give their players each an All-Star trophy. Congratulations on the National League All-Stars. Here you go, Brian.
All right, hey, I want it loud, all right? You guys cheer each other on. All right, Elliot. Oh, yeah!
Hey, when you get the trophy, you can just like, walk around the front. Okay.
Hasheen. Oh, yeah. Anderson. Oh, yeah. Gabriel. Oh, yeah. Nano. Tripp. Oh, yeah. Hey, louder. Myers. Oh, yeah. Mason. Oh, yeah. Charlie. Oh, yeah. Let's go, Jerry. Oh, yeah, Jerry. Kieran. Oh, yeah. And Ben. Oh, yeah.
Once again for our National League All-Stars.
Let's go, National Leagues.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, coaches. And now I'll pass it to the winning coaches, John Galula and Wes Chin, to award their players for the American League, the champions of the 2025 All-Star Game.
All right, thanks, Holden. All right, AL, good work. All right, first up, we have Connor. Next, we have Cam. Yeah, Cam. Max, good work.
Oh, yeah. Look at the camera.
Oh. Haruya. All right, Big Jack, here we go. Evan. Jaden. Dawson. Naveed. Yeah, Naveed.
He's an all-star.
Peter. Calvin. Peter. And Allen with the clutch hit.
Great job. Awesome.
All right, we are back here, Jesse. The American League victorious by a score of 4-2, and a very, very wonderful post-game ceremony, and all the players recognized here today.
Absolutely, and all players worthy of it.
We'll take a timeout, and we will be back with our concluding remarks next. And you've been watching the Brookline Major A All-Star Game from Elliott Field in Brookline on ESPN HD.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. And no matter what hand we're dealt, we still work our way to the win. Make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Now is the time to play with purpose. Let's play to win, so our future follows suit. Free game to greater things. This is pre-retirement.
Welcome back to Elliott Field here in Brookline. The American League defeating the National League by a score of 4-2 with 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. And Jesse, we saw some terrific baseball here today. The American League advantageous, taking advantage of their opportunities. 3 runs to capture the victory here.
Absolutely, and you know what, John? Defense really defined this game. We saw a lot of great pitching from a lot of guys on both teams. Some great plays on defense, especially in the infield. And in the end, runs needed to be manufactured. They couldn't just be smacked over the fence. And the American League got the plays they needed to get that comeback win late in the game.
Well, it was an exciting day of baseball, and we thank you for tuning in to our presentation here tonight. So for Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, I'm John Leahy saying so long from Elliott Field in Brookline. You've been watching a special presentation of ASPN HD Sports.